Well, hello and good morning from me, Leonard Wells, broadcasting as usual from Haslingden, north of Manchester in the UK. Today is Sunday, the 25th of July 2010, and it's now 3:45 British summertime in the morning. I'm up early. Today, I want to say a little bit, and I suppose you could call this a vlog, but it's really a recollection of my thoughts about things. About a month ago, I had occasion to spend 3 weeks in a hotel room in Kingston-on-Thames. Nothing special about the hotel, it was rather mediocre, but it was passable. And one of the things which I liked about it, because I'm a great European, one of the things I liked about it was the fact that it was owned by a Hungarian family, and it was staffed by Hungarians, Latvians, Lithuanians and Poles, all hard-working, very polite, very keen to help and be helpful and to do their work well. And I was impressed. And it made me feel European, because you think about it and you hear that the British don't want those kind of jobs, and yet we complain about immigrants. Isn't this part of the interplay between nations? I was listening a short while ago to a program about the bridge that was built between Denmark and Sweden, and how the differences in currency, the rates of currencies against the Danish kroner and the Swedish kroner, encouraged people to buy property when it was in their favour, and take employment and rent houses and so on and so forth. This is not really an encouragement to get rid of the euro, because all that is a lot of hassle. If people want to move, isn't it better to have a sensible reason for moving and not just money? Because otherwise we're just going to have a swishing back and to of peoples whenever the rates of currency differ. So, and most of it's unnecessary. And at the moment, we have a lot of Romanian agricultural workers here, helping to pick our fruit in the fields, and they work well, along with Poles. There are Polish carpenters and so on and so forth. Not many English people go to work in Romania, I can tell you. But there are still some very good property bargains to be had there, and I'm going to talk about one very shortly in one of my YouTube clips. And it's very, very good value, and would be a snip. If I had the money, I would grab it myself. Right, now in this hotel room, as in many hotel rooms all over the world, you will find the Holy Bible, a copy of the Bible in your hotel room, provided by the Gideons. And this was their way of encouraging Christian faith and Christian belief and belief in God, and very commendable too. But the thought occurred to me when I was in the hotel room, because many, many, many of my friends are Muslims, and I have a great respect for their book, the Holy Koran. Now, if you read the Bible and then read the Koran, there is nothing in them which would prevent both religions from accepting each other. It's all in our minds. It's the way we have looked upon our respective prophets. And unfortunately, on the Christian side, we tended to over-glorify the role of our prophet to a great extent, an incredible extent, and the opposite on the other side. Now, many of you will not believe this, and you're probably already switched off. But according to the Muslims, Christ wasn't divine. And personally, I don't accept that either. I never could accept it. It didn't make any sense to me. And if you think about it, the power which came to those two men, Jesus and Muhammad, on both of whom be peace, could only have come from the Almighty, from the Creator, from Almighty God. Because things don't happen on those kind of scales unless it is inspired from on high, believe me. Did Adolf Hitler leave anything behind after all his machinations and his evil, wicked ways? The grisly gang who worked his wicked will? No. But Jesus and Muhammad, they will never be forgotten. So of course Muhammad came along, and the first thing he taught his followers was, Allah is great, the greatest, and Muhammad is his prophet. So there was going to be no mistake on this occasion, this time round. Now between these two books, the Holy Bible, which consists of the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the Holy Koran, between those two there are three great faiths: the Jewish faith, the Christian faith, and the Islamic faith. And never the trio shall meet. Now why is it that if those three great faiths all stemmed from Almighty God, that we can't and we don't pray together? For all kinds of silly reasons, really. But man is that way inclined to fall apart in his beliefs. And there are many sects within the three great religions. There are Protestants and there are Catholics. The Unitarians don't believe Christ was divine. There are Sunni and Shiite Muslims. They have their different views of things. And even within the Jewish faith, there are Orthodox and non-Orthodox. Oh, hundreds of different sects within the three great faiths. But nevertheless, there is only one Almighty God, one Creator. Now, what I'm coming to is, in this particular occasion, when I stayed in Kingston recently, I suddenly had a feeling that in order to balance the books, if you pardon the pun, there ought to be in every hotel room a Holy Koran, translated into Western languages, of course, so that people from the Christian faith can have a dabble and a read in their quiet moments of the Holy Koran and get to maybe understand each other, and vice versa. Then Muslims might not be so disinclined to read the Bible because they feel they're on alien ground. And I'm going to try and persuade the authorities on the Muslim side to encourage this, because only by understanding each other will we stop people like the British National Party from having sway and from creating trouble and problems. We need to understand each other, and particularly where religion is concerned. So I'm mentioning this now because this is one of the things I'm trying to do. So have a nice Sunday. If you're going to church, pray well and think about what I said. There is only one God, but there have been 4 prophets: Abraham, Moses, Jesus and Muhammad, on all of whom be peace. Thank you and cheerio for now. God bless. I'm saying this while it's still legal in England to say God bless. Take care. All the best.